Hello, this is Don with Bullets for Freedom, now Bullets for Freedom and Liberty on Facebook. I invite you to go over and join the page and see what we've got to offer. Tonight, I'm going to, now that it's finally cool out in the shop, I'm going to do a quick review on the Eastwood Chrome Bond. Came to me in a 1 pound bag. I've already done electric blue, electric raspberry, razzleberry, whatever you want to call it. And purple. I've also done the neon, what I call zombie green. These are on the 150 grain for 357. This is actually a 38 special round. I'm doing some test rounds later on in the next couple days. But what we've got in here is I've got my oven being warmed. Right now it's about 140, 150 degrees. It's been in here for a few minutes, just warming up. I'm then going to take just a small amount and put them in the tumbler. And I did used to use the shake and bake method, but I noticed that over time I'm not getting the consistency that I like with 20 minutes in the tumbler. So, I figured why not? Let's do a good review, and hopefully these will turn out. They're going to be chrome. They're going to look just like the lead bullets, but they're going to be powder coated. We'll run them through the sizing die, and then we'll load them up. The chrome is going to be my color for the 357 loads. I'm going to be loading that with the IMR 4227, I believe it is. And we'll be doing some test loads and some shooting here later on this week. So, got these warmed up. Let's get it in the pot. So I got my Frankfurt Arsenal tumbler, and we'll just plug in over here just to make it simple. And it's warm enough I can still touch it. Yep, they're warm. So I'll just put those bullets in there, close that back up, and we're going to take just enough. I don't want a lot in there, just simply because I don't like wasting a lot of powder. This powder gets a little expensive. It's about $10 to $12 a pound. So just a nice sprinkle over the top. A lot of guys wear respirators and whatnot, and I guess apparently lead causes cancer in California. I'm just glad I'm not in California. So I'm going to close this thing up. Let's see if I can get a good view of that in the bucket. So I don't really want to use a lot. Okay, so I will turn that on. Okay, that's going to kick up some dust. So I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on, and we're going to tumble this for 20 minutes. Okay, so now that the magic of video, we now have the coated bullets. It's been about 20 minutes. And so now I'm going to take them out of my tumbler. Now that's just built up static. So that a lot of guys use BBs. I don't. One thing that I'm really starting not to really like is warming them up. I've noticed that I'm getting just as good of coverage, if not better coverage on the bullets without using, especially with the hollow points, without having to warm them up. I notice that when I warm up the bullets, the hollow points tend to fill, the cavities tend to fill with the powder coat paint, and so I end up taking this small little drill bit and just cleaning them out as we go. I am going to use my nail board or my screw board tonight. There's 100 of them on here. It took me a little while to do, but one thing I do like about it is that it keeps the bullets from filling up. A lot of guys are turning them on their base. I do it every once in a while. I've got my silicone mat. But let's set this powder aside on my cardboard. I'll put that back in the bag. So I've noticed that now with a lot of the powder coating, I shoot a Glock 35, which is a long barrel 40 Smith & Wesson, but I've switched out to the KKN barrel because Glock is known for the polygonal barrel, and with the polygonal barrel, it has a tendency to foul up. So by using the KKM barrel, it's actually bored, and so I've got the 1 in 8 twist, or yeah, 1 in 8 or 1 in 6. I'll have to look on that, but converted that over. And also I like the 9 because I get a higher capacity. So glove up, just because I'm going to handle them. I've noticed that I learned this from Loads of Bacon. He uses, a lot of the guys are using gloves, but I've noticed now that as I get used to doing it this way, the powder seems to stick. I mean, it's right on there. So I'm going to preheat my oven to 400 degrees, and one by one I'm going to set them on the posts so that they are facing down, and we'll just go right through that. So here's the board, the peg board or the screw board, whatever you want to call it. Again, because these are the hollow points, I could use these set screws. My oven's already preheated to 400 degrees. Set that timer for 20 minutes. Nice thing about this is that it heats it throughout. The screws are coming in from the base, so it actually draws the heat up from below. Excuse me. So we'll slide that pine board in, close that up. The other step I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my tray. So the silicone mat and my tray, I'll set these there, and we'll put these nose down. This goes a little bit quicker. I had a buddy of mine over the other day, and he put the other 2 in the oven, and I didn't catch it, and I melted them earlier today, so that was loads of fun. But anyways. So while I'm doing this, I want to give a quick shout out to my son who's serving in the U.S. Army out at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. He and his wife are enjoying the summer down there. He's 91 Echo, very proud of him. And want to give a shout out to all of our military past and present. I appreciate your service, because without you, we have no freedom. So keep up the fight, keep doing what you're doing. And you got your support. You got the support from Bullets for Freedom and Liberty. I guess one of the reasons why I'm doing this, and I think I mentioned this once before in another video, is it's not just a lost art, but casting has been around, well, since bullets. Technology and designs and everything have made it better, but my reason is because cost savings. You know, I'd rather go through and spend some time out here in the shop for a little bit each week and make up some bullets, make up some videos, share the information that I've learned with the viewers, and just give back to the shooting and reloading community. If there's a good price on factory ammunition, by all means, stock up. I'm a huge believer in stockpiling weapons and ammo, and I guess my thought is, if the government's doing it, why shouldn't we, right? So there's my little screw, just cleaned out that one. So far it's been pretty good. Well, this is only my second one, and I just clean it out, tap it off. The paint seems to be holding real well for this Eastwood. But back to my point is, to be able to give back to the shooting and reloading community. This has been a great hobby. It's been a great pastime, and why not share it? So, I had 2 get stuck, so we'll just set that right back there. I don't know how I'm going to do the next one, but I think I've got enough for just a little bit, so we'll just put those right down the middle. Actually, I'll just stand them up on end. Why not? Do it by hand. So far, even with all the handling, I've got a little bit of chrome on my finger, which isn't a big deal. I'll throw these in after these are done. So in about 10-15 minutes, we should see how they turn out. There you go. Okay, so we've got our first batch done. Very hot. Nice thing about the pine, would you look at that? Let's see if you can see that very well in the camera. There we go. Looks like we've got good even coverage. Going to now very carefully, without knocking these bad boys over, set these in. Try it on their nice thing that the oven is already hot, so try them on the base. Turn that back on. So yeah, wow, that is very impressive. So nice even coat. I like the screw board just simply because it transfers the heat from underneath, and so it heats the bullet up uniformly. And yeah, guys, I'm gonna let these air cool. I could drop them into a bucket of water, but I don't see the point. We'll just let these air cool. We got 20 minutes to see what the ones on their base, but I don't really want to touch them because I don't want to mar the finish. But it is pretty impressive that, take this glove off. So there's a 9mm. Okay, nice and shiny, nice clean lead. And then here's the same thing, powder coated. I want to reach down and touch it, but I already know that they're hot. So we'll take a look and see how much of the paint actually came down to the tip. Yeah, that's still pretty warm. So we'll just let those cool down naturally, and it should take a few minutes by the time the other ones are done. And we'll see which way is best. You know, while I was sitting here just waiting for these to cool down, came up with an idea. I just realized that my $4.99 Bed Bath & Beyond basket fits directly over all the screws. Since the wood's already cooled down, the screws are hot, but I found flipping it over, moving the gloves out of the way, and just tapping it. Yeah, they're coming off all right, I guess. So some of the paint stuck, so you got to twist it, and that's fine. Anyways, I was just trying a couple different options. So they are cooling down a lot quicker now, but very, very, very impressed. There it is. Nice even coat. No paint. I mean, the paint's in the hollow point, in the cavity there. But very clean, very, very clean. So far, so good. We'll see how the other bullets turn out sitting on their bases. But looks to me like we're ready for the next step, and that is to send them through the resizer. I've already got the 358 Lee sizing die already set up in my lock and load single stage. I like the lock and load just simply because it's beefier. A lot of guys like RCBS. As you can tell, I'm set up with Hornady this year. I've had really good luck with them. I do like how it's set up. So what I like to do is, while they're still just warm to the touch, I like to resize them. So I'll work. Let me see if I can zoom in. There we go. Excellent. So while these are cooling, since they are powder coated, I'm sizing them to 358, and since they are cast bullets, usually you have to lube them, and that's where those rings that you see on there, they used to have to run them through something similar to this, but it would add a base, like a base of lube or wax. And with the new powder coating methods that we're doing now, it is amazing that you can actually shoot cast lead and not have to worry about lubing them. So the paint adhered flawlessly. No complaints. That is a solid 150 grain. I'll weigh it here in a bit. I don't think that it added any weight to the bullet. So I'm going to go through and size these. I've got about 10 minutes left. The lead does seem to cool down rapidly, which makes it nice. So we'll size these to 358, and I'm going to put the cap on. This doesn't take that long at all. A little bit of downward force, but you know, the nice thing with the Eastwood, I found one coat. I mean, we call these one coat wonders, and pretty much every color but I want to say the raspberry, I had to do 2 coats, just simply because it's more of a translucent color, and I wanted to make sure that I had a good coat on. So hopefully these will run through the 357 fairly easy. And I am sizing them to 358. Let me grab my caliper and we'll see how close the lead die is bringing it to 358. I know the ones that I did earlier. So let's see here, right there in the middle. So right now at the base, these bullets are .360, and coming out of the sizer should be 358. Let's see, 357. So there you go. So my Lee sizer is bringing it down to 357. Okay, which works out really well. So we've got about 10 minutes left. I'm going to continue processing the rest of these through the sizer. Okay. Grab the gloves. Look at that. So there you go. Nice shiny Cylons. So I'm going to call these. Very nice. Okay, so I'll let these cool down. So, scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give the Eastwood Chrome a solid 10. Very impressive. There's the powder coat's gone down into the cavity. I don't want to tip it over too far, but you can just see that, yeah. Very nice. So in the next video, I'll edit this one down, but in the next video, we'll go in and load these. I'm going to use the IMR 5227, and I believe that's about 7 grains of powder for the Magnum. We're going to use the Starline, brand new Starline 357 casings. We're going to use the Federal Magnum pistol primers, and see how they turn out. So thanks for watching, and yeah, here we go. I'm actually pretty impressed with that. So either way you can do it. You can do it nose down on the screw board or base down on the board. Either way, I'll give the Chrome a let's give it a 9.5. Have a great evening. Thanks for watching.